claim I'm responding to is that pornography has a negative effect on human beings. My opponent's secondary claims are that pornography is a form of sexism and that pornography can lead to serious addictions. On to the first secondary claim, that pornography is not made just for men. My opponent stated that pornography is a male invention designed to dehumanize women and is the essence of anti-female propaganda from a book written in 1975. Today, women are changing the market for pornography. There are millions of women who use and enjoy explicit sexual imagery. According to Nielsen Net Ratings, in the first 3 months of 2007, approximately 1 in 3 visitors to adult entertainment websites was female. During the same period, nearly 13 million American women were checking out porn online at least once each month. The female audience is increasing. Teresa Flint, the vice president of marketing for Hustler Video, adds that women are buying more porn. They account for 56% of business at her company's video stores. Radical feminists are opposed to pornography and argue that it is an industry which degrades women. The touchstone principle of feminism used to be a woman's body, a woman's right. With regard to rape, radical feminists still declare no means no. But on some sexual matters, women that consent and say yes apparently means no. Pornography could not degrade women more than this attitude does. On to the secondary claim that pornography can lead to serious addictions. Eric Jansen, a PhD and researcher at the Kinsey Institute, criticizes the use of the term addiction when talking about porn because he says it merely describes certain people's behavior as being addiction-like, but treating them as addicts may not help them. Many people may diagnose themselves as porn addicts after reading popular books on the subject, he says. But mental health professionals have no standard criteria to diagnose porn addiction. Pornography may well impact upon behavior, although recent studies question the extent. But it is extraordinarily difficult objectively to measure that impact. Sexual responses are extremely complex and elude artificial lab conditions. Moreover, the standards used and the conclusions drawn usually depend on the bias of researchers and those who commission the research. In conclusion, pornography is not all bad. It lets people satisfy their normal human sexual curiosity. Time is changing and there is porn that is being produced not just for men, but specifically for women by women. And not everyone who views pornography will become addicted to it because it is difficult to measure the sexual responses. Thank you.
All right, you ID the main claim pretty clearly. On your first point, you do find signposting. Basically, you just develop a counterclaim on this particular point, and you've got a couple of good pieces of evidence on that information, so that seems fine. There's a challenge to the validity of the interpretation of radical feminism here, but I didn't really think that it was explained very clearly. It sounds like it's an assessment done by somebody who is looking at and judging the way radical feminism is being applied to sexual relations in the culture, but it's at best a paraphrase of what's going on there. It just doesn't seem like it's a developed argument on that point. The movement to the second point was okay. It was fairly clear. I did think that you had some good evidence here about the addiction issue, that it's difficult to diagnose, that it's hard for us to quantify or measure in any particular way. I think you need to kind of explain the impact of that information on the argument that the advocate presented a little bit more, because the application is not as clear as it could be on that particular point. I did appreciate the attempt to summarize there. It just did seem a little thin, though, in the presentation.